All right, guys, this is the 10th of October. So let's take a look. Now, yesterday, well, I was actually hoping this gap would be filled out, but it didn't fill out. So I had a small stop loss out here. But once I figured out we're breaking out, then, this push is good. So it went all the way into that 1130 that we talked about right on there. So the market did have that drive. Now, today, let me just put the Astro hours for today as well before we go on. So everything is a bit crystal clear. All right, so these are the hours for today. Now the market should be, if we're at the top here, we've still got targets up there. Let's take a look. Remember, we're long with gold from down here. So the only issue I had yesterday was that it should fill in the gap. Now it did not fill in this gap, but believe me, it will come to fill it in. Okay, when that will be is another question. We'll see how that pans out. But first, let's take a look at the targets. Once again, look, on the weekly, we've got that level there, which is HCL1, which is 1876, which is what we put up there on the 15-minute before. And then if we keep pushing up, if we go above the 1876, we've got room to go into 5053, which is going to be 1917.38. So we've got room to go up, but it should get up there in any case, okay? Because this is a good push up, so we should kind of go up there anyway, right? What I'm going to do as well, while we're at it, on the daily, as you can see, this is the channel we're in, okay? And that's fine. I can actually extend this, take this all the way from here, okay? And that's fine. This is the channel we're in, okay? But afterwards, we're going to break this. What I would like to see, hopefully we should have, is a dip down again to close the gap, which would be good. But if it doesn't, well, we'll see. So this is why we've got Astro hours. Now, yesterday I was hoping for that dip to come back. So I had a short right around here, okay? It went down a little bit right there where the support is, okay? And the stop loss was just above here, okay? And then as you can see, right at the Astro hour as well, look at that, beautiful, right at the Astro hour, it breaks out. So I had a small stop loss here, and that's fine actually, because with astrology, we can also make a mistake, but the stop losses are really close. Why? Because if your hours are incorrect, or if you traded it the wrong way, right, you get a really tight stop loss and you don't have to worry about it at all. Now, I did say yesterday the market should push until 11:30. So once it started, as you can see, that initial move, when it came back at the Astro hour again, it just kept pushing until 11. So if you took advantage of that, you should have been okay. All right. So with gold, it's a bit tricky. Wednesday is the swing day for this. So we're either going to go up a little bit more because we've got room to go up, or we're going to see how things pan out here. Maybe we'll come back, fill in the gap, and then push up. Now, one more thing you should take a look at is this here, okay? Now, remember, that was a good buy kiss here, okay, when this fell off. And we were on top of it when we were trading this because we were sellers at the top, remember? So now, let's get rid of this. What we're going to see is, actually, I'll keep this. What we're going to see is we should break above this. All right, we're going to go above this. And then if we're going to sell off, we're going to sell off somewhere along the lines of there, okay? Which should bring us up into filling the gaps and into this zone. All right, so we can target this zone. In the interim, that's your 1, 2, 3 kind of targeting, okay? So this is what we should keep an eye on. Get that zone there. So if it does pull back, fill in the gap, I'd be a buyer again to go up. As you can see, this 1810, happened before the events in the Middle East. So, before the news, we were already on top of it, and that's good to know. Okay, so gold, it should retrace back because as you can see here, we've got gaps to fill, and we've got gaps to fill all the way down here. So the market could do this. It could go there, it could go there, push all the way into Wednesday, or we're going to push all the way down into Wednesday and then go up. All right, so you could follow that through. I don't mind coming into Wednesday and going long again, and then that should be like a really good drive. This is what I wanted to do yesterday. Have the market come down Tuesday, Wednesday into this zone, possibly stick around here, and then Wednesday would be a good push up. But if you want, you can wait till tomorrow, or if you like, then what you can do is still on the pullbacks into the daily pivot, or where the market broke out yesterday, which is this zone here, right, which is around the 1850, then you can also go up. Now I'm going to delete this because this target is already done. So we can get rid of that. This is done. 1876 is already up here, so we can just, well, we'll keep it at 1875, not a problem. All right, and that's the other target there. And then we should hopefully go higher and higher. So if Wednesday swing days are low, we must go long. SP 500. Now with SP 500, I said we should go above this, okay? And I said we're going to break above it. It's all good. And I told you I'm expecting these highs. If you're following me, you should be doing fine. Market comes back into there and goes long, okay? These are Astro hours as well. It didn't come back to that daily level. Let's take a look at it down here. But as you can see, it came back enough to close the gap, which it did, and then went up. So with this, despite the fact that there's a war, a new conflict in the Middle East going on, as you can see, the market didn't really care. We should still be going up, and I told you we should break that level. So in my opinion, a humble one at that, we should get up here, and then we should resell. Okay, then we should resell. So we should go up into that goodbye kiss, come into this zone, close up the gaps, and then we should sell off again. Okay, and that's that. Would the market go into this bar here where there is indecision? It might do, but I'm going to start selling from this zone. All right, so this zone. So just keep that little place in mind. But this is my zone. This is the target. So going long into there, and then we'll think about going south from here. Okay, where can you go long? Well, you can go long at 4325, I guess, which is just here, or the daily pivot, not a problem. So the daily pivot is here. Actually, the daily pivot is nice because it closes these gaps from yesterday. So if we come down to the daily pivot, looking like a nice spot to kind of go up. Yesterday, I also said this should fill in the gap, and it certainly did fill in the gap, and it pushed, as you can see, just pushed all the way into there. All right, right into the 11:30 hours. So that was like all good. All right, and this is where you could have gotten out. Okay. Now, on the way up, we still got room. Here, what you have to do is to make sure that you play the game with your targeting. I put these targets up there yesterday. Okay, so that 4,391 is on the cards. On the daily, we don't have a PST level. On the weekly, the first level is this, remember, 4364, 4358. So 435864 is here. This is your first resistance area. Okay, so be mindful here. Okay, if the market goes there and they sell off, it shouldn't surprise you because it's a weekly PST. Okay, but if it breaks out, you know we're going to go up to fill in the gaps and pull back. Is it worth selling at that 4,358 level? 64 level. 4358 is here. Okay. 64 is slightly above here. Okay. Is it worth it? Okay. I'd say it's not a bad idea. Okay. Despite the fact that there's a bit of a gap here, this is the bar, as you can see, that pin bar there, where it sold off. So taking the stops above there, selling off is not a bad idea. But that target 4391, I'm going to keep on the cards. And I've got 4393 here. Okay. Which is there. So going back into that 5354, 4393. Okay, I'm still going to keep it on the cards. So we've got room, I reckon, to push up a little bit more. If it comes down first, you could go up. That 4,393 is here. As you can see, that's also a Fibonacci target there. All right, so we've got one target, we've got two targets. So any pullback into the daily at an Astro hour is great to go up into target one, target two, target three kind of thing. And if it pushes up further, then it shouldn't surprise you. Okay. Euro dollar. Let's take a look now with the daily. This is where we're at. This is a nice situation here. You've got flag formation here. Your first resistance is 48, 1.0590. If I go back to the 15-minute, 1.0590. 1.0590 is about here. So this is the spot. Okay, this is the first resistance level. As you can see, once again, it filled in the gap. We said we would fill in the gap, and it did nicely here as well. The market, once again, Astro hours right here, pushing up, comes back into the Astro hour. What a beautiful retracement, right into the Astro hour, and then going back up again into that zone. So what to do with the euro dollar daily? Now remember, this is something we want to break above. Okay, so I want to clean out above this. Okay, if we go a little bit higher, that would be nice. That's the Mercury line. Okay, if we go up into this blue zone, this is the level we should be selling at. Okay, but we won't know yet until we get some push. On the weekly, this is a nice target 40, which is gonna be 1.0641. 1.0641 is there. Okay, so that's the target there. All right. Now, if we come back into the daily and the weekly especially is good because of the gap here. So if I just refresh this, so this is a good impulse up. Okay, so coming back to retest where they bought before is going to be the weekly or just slightly under the weekly here. So once I come back down here, if it's an Astro hour, what I want to do is think about going long. The daily, the weekly, it's all good. If the market had gone up first, I'd think about selling. If it comes down first, I'm going to think about buying to get to a place where I can sell off. Okay, so that's the whole mentality. And on the weekly, like I said, we should head up a little bit. Okay, so we should head up a little bit. Maybe this week we should go up, and then we're going to think about selling off again. All right, so hopefully that 40 level there, 1.0641, is not a bad place to be selling off. Okay, let's see what happened in the past there. There you go, a beautiful sell-off place. Well, wonderful. All right, so that level is what we might be testing. So keeping our eyes open for that target is not a bad idea at all. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, Bitcoin. All right, so here we are with Dow Jones. Let's take a look. Same kind of thing yesterday, right in there. Okay, remember we're looking to buy from this zone, and that's fine. Market retraced down yesterday. Beautiful, closing the gap. Okay, and let's take a look. This is how come I've got the 1 hourly. Okay, this is the 1 hourly chart. Let's turn this into a 15-minute chart. Okay, and then you'll see this is a nice push right in there. It comes back and then just goes up. So let's see. All right, so this is where we are. Okay, so the market yesterday, this is yesterday, opens low at the Astra hours here, pushing up all the way into 11:30 here. All right, let's do 11:30, and this is where we're at. So this is also not a surprise for us because remember, this is the zone. All right, so the market should go up. Now, what did I say? I said we should go above this swing. Okay, we should. So we should kind of go above it, come into this spot or this spot, and then we need to sell off again. All right, so this is what might happen. It's either going to be A, B, C, or we're going to muck around up, sideways up this way, and then we're going to think of going down. All right, so a bit of an ABC is possible, or we can just keep pushing up and then we could just slide down. But we should break above the 50, and I want to be selling above the 50 somewhere, and these are the zones that I've determined. So if the market does pull back, going up is not a bad idea at all. All right. If you're using your ATAM strategy, you can wait for the market to pull back into the daily. It's not a bad spot, or the equilibrium level here just above the weekly pivot. So this zone, that zone is okay to go long at Astra hours. Again, we should have a bit of a retracement because we need to possibly fill in this gap again and then go up, and then we'll think about selling afterwards. But that's the situation. On the weekly, as you can see, we've got targets up there. 33,984 is the HCL1. So 33,984, oopsie daisy, 8, 4. So, well, it's basically just around here. Okay. And then let's check it out. You also got this blue 48 there, which is 33,994. And before we head up there, we've got the 46.47, which you need to look out for. 33,754. And where's 45? 46. 33,796,754. All right, so 754. 796, which is pretty much in line with this target 3. Oopsie daisy, 796. All right, so this zone is a target. If we come down first, going up makes sense. If we go up first, then retracement selling for intraday trades also makes sense. Why? Because this is a manipulation bar which broke this swing. Okay, so a bit of a retracement from here is also logical, and then we could go up the next day. Be careful for your swing days, okay, because it's Dow Jones. Swing days, I've noted them on Monday. All right, so we should be, aligning ourselves to that. We could be pushing up until the swing days, or today's Tuesday. Maybe we'll come back down into a swing day and then go back up again and make the other swing day. So they're both possible. NASDAQ. All right, no real dramas here. We all talked about going up. So, and this zone was the buy zone. We talked about that as well. So there's nothing much to talk about. It's done the targets. If you were long on it, well done. Now on the NASDAQ, I gave you targets as well as usual. So we still got levels up there, which is fine. as you can see. Okay. That 60 level is looking good. 15,163. Okay, so 15,163, 230. 15,230 is here. And 15,163 is just there, which is just shy of that target there. So that's fine on the daily. As you can see, we've got those levels there. So this zone is good to be selling off. And that 64 is 15,335. Let's put it up there in any case. 15,335 there as well. All right. So this zone is also, like I said, it's a sell zone. We could go up a little bit and then think about selling here. NASDAQ swing day, also check it out. Okay. So that could come in on the swing days as well, not a problem. If we pull down first, look to go up in there. Okay. The first support for today, and look, yesterday I said goodbye kiss here at 46. It pretty much came to that goodbye kiss level, as you can see right on there, actually on the line. So the market came back in their weekly pivot, Astro hour, pushing up nice and easy. Okay. And that's basically it. So if we come back down again into the daily, this zone here, to go back up is not, I think, illogical. So we could buy if we come down at an Astro hour in order to go up there. Bitcoin, look, this is Bitcoin. I put the swing days here way before, as you guys know. So, pretty much, as you can see yesterday, that fell down and we're here. I don't know. There's not much for me to add here because I always say the same thing, and I've been saying it for months. When every time the market goes up, you need to push down. Every time the market goes down, you need to push down. Every time the market goes down, to push down. So we should be coming back into here. I talked about January. Okay, last year I talked about buying in January, actually mid-January, and that's was okay. And now I'm talking about selling only. We should be selling all the way into spring. So when the market goes up, you should just be shorting it, and that's basically it. If you're using your ATAM strategy, then do it on the lines. So if you want to short that 58.98, for example, it's 27,720. So 27,720 is, that's the vicinity. 27,720 is there. Okay, and that's what the market did yesterday. All right, this is today. It's what the market did yesterday. So, you need to be on top of your game so you know what's going on. And let's take a look. Yeah, basically that's it. So we've got room to come down. I'm expecting the market to come back into their 20s. So until we get down here, I'm not really doing any buy and hold stuff. And that's basically it. So, yeah. Okay, so pushing it down from the highs, I think, is a better option than buying at the moment.